All right, let's talk about something most of us do almost on autopilot, passing another car. It feels so simple, right? But if you get it wrong, well, the consequences can be huge. And I mean really huge.
Seriously, how hard can it be? You see a car moving a bit too slow, you signal, you move over, you hit the gas, and you get back in your lane. Done. But it turns out the official rules of the road have a whole lot to say about this seemingly simple move.
And there's a very, very good reason for all those rules. When you pass, you're often putting yourself directly into the path of oncoming traffic. It takes some serious judgment calls on speed, distance, and timing. It's easily one of the most dangerous things we do behind the wheel. So, that's exactly why we're going to break down the official playbook, piece by piece, to make sure every single pass you make is a safe one.
So here's the game plan. We're going to start with why this is such a high-stakes move in the first place. Then we'll get into the golden rules of passing, the places where you should never even try it, and we'll cover some of those weird special situations. And we'll wrap it all up with the one rule that beats everything else. Sound good? Let's get into it.
First things first, let's really understand the stakes here. These rules aren't just there to be annoying, they're a system, a very carefully designed system to manage what is a fundamentally risky situation. And believe it or not, the first step to a safe pass happens way before you even think about switching lanes.
That's right, the first rule of passing is actually about following. You have to keep what the rules call a reasonable and prudent distance. And that's not just about avoiding a little fender bender. Following too closely or tailgating totally kills your view of what's coming towards you. It gives you no space and no time to judge if a pass is even a smart idea.
Okay, so you've got your safe following distance. Now, it's time for the main event, the pass itself. And you gotta remember, this is a two-way street, literally and figuratively. Both the driver doing the passing and the driver being passed have a job to do.
Before you even think about moving over, you have to read the road. It's basically talking to you through the lane markings. See a broken line? That's the road saying, okay, you can pass here, if it's safe. A solid line? That's a hard no. Do not cross. And if you see one of each, just look at the line on your side. If it's broken, you're good to go. If it's solid, you stay put. It's that simple. Look, this whole thing is a team sport. If you're the one passing, your job is clear. Pass on the left, give them plenty of space, and don't you dare cut back in until you can see their entire car in your rearview mirror. Now, if you're the one being passed, your job is even simpler. Just make it easy for them. Maybe ease off the gas, give way to the right, and for goodness sake, do not speed up. It's not a race, it's a safety maneuver.
Okay, so we've talked about cooperation. Now let's talk about the hard limits. Sometimes the road just makes the decision for you. There are certain spots where your view is just too limited, the risk is way too high, and passing becomes an absolute non-negotiable no-go.
All right, let's do a quick fire round. First up, you're driving up a steep hill. You have no idea what's coming over that crest. Do you pass?
Not a chance. Why? Because you're driving blind. A car could be right over that hill, and by the time you see them, it is way, way too late.
Okay, next one. You're heading into a sharp curve. Can't see what's around the bend. Is it a good time to whip around that slow car in front of you?
Nope. Never. Same idea as the hill. That curve is blocking your line of sight. You're basically gambling on a head-on collision. Just don't do it.
And last one. You're coming up to some train tracks. The car ahead is slowing down. Should you just swing around them?
Absolutely not. Never, ever, ever pass at a railway crossing. The risk of getting trapped on the tracks is just, it's not worth even thinking about. These three are the big ones, no exceptions. So what do all those no-go zones have in common? It all comes back to this one fundamental idea. Before your wheels even think about crossing that center line, you have to be 100% sure the other lane is clear. And not just clear right now, but clear for the entire time it's going to take you to pass and get back over safely.
All right, so we've nailed the standard pass. But the road loves to throw us curveballs. What about passing on the right? Or what do you do when you see a snowplow or a stopped emergency vehicle? Let's dive into some of those trickier situations. Passing on the right just feels wrong, doesn't it? And yeah, most of the time it is. But there are a few very specific exceptions. Number one, if the car in front of you has its signal on and is actively turning left. Number two, if you're on a one-way street that's wide enough. And number three, on a big highway with 2 or more lanes going in your direction. Only in those cases is it okay.
Okay, this one is so important for keeping people safe. You see any vehicle stopped on the side of the road with flashing lights, police, ambulance, a tow truck, whatever, you have to react. First step, slow down, like way down. Then look. If there's an open lane to your left, you have to move over into it. Give those people space to work safely. Don't just squeeze by right next to them.
And for anyone who lives where it snows, this one's for you, the snowplow. It is so tempting to try and get around them, but you can't. Not if that big cloud of snow is blocking your view, not if you're going to get in their way, and not if it just can't be done safely. Just be patient. Let the plows do their thing.
So we've gone through a whole bunch of specific rules, right? But all of them, every single one, boils down to one final, ultimate principle. This is the one that you should be thinking about every single time you consider passing another car.
But before we get to that final rule, let's just state the obvious. 2 things you can absolutely never do. You can't pass someone by driving off the road onto the shoulder, and you can't use a parking lane to get around them. Both are incredibly dangerous and always illegal. Just don't even think about it.
And here it is. This is it. The most important phrase in the entire rulebook on passing. You are not allowed to pass when the act of overtaking and passing cannot be made safely. It doesn't matter if the line on the road is broken. It doesn't matter if the road is straight. If you have even the slightest doubt, if you hesitate for a split second, the decision is already made. You wait.
Because in the end, that's what this is all about. The lines on the pavement, the laws, they're all just guides. They're there to help you make a good judgment call. But you're the one in the driver's seat. You're the one who has to make that final decision. So the next time you pull out to pass, just ask yourself one question. Am I absolutely sure this is the safe call? Because your life and the lives of everyone else on that road depend on your answer.